So guys, it looks to me like Conor McGregor is going backwards, and I don't know why. I'm genuinely just wondering why. Give you an example. He's getting ready to fight Poirier, a fight that Poirier has wanted for a meaningful amount of time. Great, Conor's going to give it to him. Cool move. But he's also saying, Conor, that he would like to fight Max Holloway. And he's also saying he would like to do the trilogy with Nate Diaz. And it just seems as though, for whatever reason, he's going back. Now, a lot of athletes do that. You could say that Dustin's doing that Max would like to do that. But the athletes that want to go back are trying to right a wrong. Conor McGregor won those contests. I just don't know that I've ever seen it before, particularly from a top guy. I don't know that I've ever seen a top guy actively trying to pursue old opponents that he beat. I just don't know that I've seen it. It would seem as though he would want to go forward. The Poirier fight, particularly if it was for a championship, I mean, you could see how we would get here. The mere fact that Conor likes Dustin Poirier and wants to give him this opportunity, or maybe there's a little bit more where Conor thought, that wasn't all that hard of a night for me, and I don't think it's going to be any harder. Whatever the reason is, you're going to do some rematches every now and then. But to be going into a rematch, talking about doing yet another rematch and parlaying that into a third rematch, just seems as though you'd want some fresh blood. You've got Chandler in there all of a sudden. Gaethje's floating around. Tony Ferg's been calling him out for years. I mean, there's some really big matches that are also very meaningful and exciting and would offer some new parity. And not for us fans, man. Conor Mania is a real thing. We're coming along, right? Done, sold, in. I'm talking about from Conor's perspective. I just don't know that I've ever seen this. And it surprises me a little bit. What piece of psychology am I missing here? Or have I just hit it on the head? That this isn't about giving guys an opportunity or trying to make a big and meaningful fight. Conor liked something he felt, thinks this is an easy night out. Man, I support that theory. You ever run into an athlete that's trying to sound like a real tough guy? Talk about his opponent coming up. He says, I want him at his best. I hope he's at his best. That's the one I want to beat. What a dumb thing to say. Give me the worst guy in the biggest arena for the largest paycheck. That's the guy I want to fight. Floyd Mayweather approach 101. The worst guy that we can sell to the audience for the biggest paycheck. That is who I want to fight. And sometimes that's going to be a really hard guy. Every now and then you got to step in there with Sugar Shannon. Every now and then you got to draw De La Hoya out of the hat. But the rest of the time, you're fighting Fernando Vargas's of the world. I mean, that's the way this game is played. So I wouldn't have a big problem if Conor was doing it, but I am a little bit surprised from a competitive standpoint. I mean, in all fairness, Max Holloway is a 45-pounder. I understand that Max would move up for the fight, but that's not what we're discussing. I'm discussing Conor pursuing fights with guys he's already beaten. I don't know that I've seen anything quite like that. By the way, I was asked a fan question. I want you guys to hear this and I want to respond.
Hey, Uncle Chael, big fan. I just wanted to know, what's your opinion on Kimbo's Backyard and street beefs, underground fighting leagues?
All right, for some reason, and I'm not a prude, but those things turn me off. They really do. I always watch them. I will privately enjoy them. Okay, there's two visual experiences. One is called a lean back and one is called a lean in. And you're basically talking about the screen. A lean back experience would be the Super Bowl. You sit back away from the TV. You've got your friends over. You're sitting back. A lean in is the experience I have when I'm watching some of those backyard and underground fights. I don't want people to know I'm watching it, right? I'm leaning in. I'm looking. I don't want to. I'm covering the screen a little bit because there's something about it, man. It's a crime. It's a crime happening in front of my eyes. These guys are street fighting. If the police pull up, they get put in handcuffs. And then somewhere within me, I celebrate the victor. I get it. I fully get, but I don't want people to know that I do. Right? I mean, there's something about if you're going to go into a level of brutality that is this sport, there's an honor in having it sanctioned. in agreeing to rules and a time and a weight class and having cornermen there with towels that they will throw in if their athlete is not in a good position. There's something honorable about that. And those backyard things, man, they make me nervous, and I've never seen one go awry. I mean, it seems as though the guys that go into those backyard fights do have a level of code that they follow. I just haven't seen one where a guy starts eye gouging, starts stomping on a guy when he's down. But if I did ever see, I would be disgusted. Reminds me of some kind of a LA gang riot. I want to see that. I want to see a sport. So when you ask me about some of those Kimbo things, yeah, I've watched them all. And if one popped up today, I'd go watch that too. I watched Kimbo and Gannon. I watched Masvidal's backyard stuff. I mean, there was a level of time when this was the MMA that you could get. But that's not what we wanted. We wanted to be regulated. So I don't mean to be the cold water, right? I'm being the skunk at the garden party. I get it, but that's my response, man. I don't love that stuff. If you want to do that, get a license, do it the right way.